Today I have something special. We're doing the back brakes, but we're gonna do it big boy style. Air tools. Whoa. Let's fire it up, baby. Oh yeah, and if you're a visual learner like me, smash that subscribe button. You know, I don't really see any videos out there about people doing the back brakes, and that's probably because they only do 10 to 30% of the work. All that braking work is usually done up front. Just a little tip. So if you don't have air tools, Ram was kind enough to provide you the tools needed to do this job right underneath the passenger seat. But today, in an attempt to save time, because it is about to get all kinds of crazy hot, we're gonna hammer this out with some air tools. Thank God for Harbor Freight and tools. Let's say no to auto mechanic hands. Do yourself a favor, get a 6-point. And make sure your parking brake is not depressed. If it was depressed, pull back on this. Make sure that is not pushed down. And then chock the front tires. Even a 2x4 or 4x4 will work if you don't have wheel chocks. If you don't have a 3-ton jack, like I said earlier, everything is provided underneath the passenger seat. This is just easier for me to do than try to rip that out. All right, so just lift it up a little bit. That way the tire is still on the concrete or on the ground, and then we'll loosen all these up, and then we'll jack it up more, and then pull the tire off. I highly recommend a bucket, or if you get the means, a shop stool will be good. I'm using an Igloo cooler. Make sure you have it in reverse if you're using one of these, and then basically take it off in a star pan. Boom, 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 boom. Jack stand for safety. Slide her off. So the next thing we're going to do is remove the 2 pins. It's basically a long 10mm bolt. Lefty loosey, righty tighty, baby. And then the bottom one, which is down here somewhere. Can't see it, but I can feel it. I'm going to grab a 5-gallon bucket because I'm going to put the caliper, this piece, right on top of it. Work that puppy loose. It will eventually come. All right, we'll just lay that there for now. Okay, your pads are here and here. So let's pop those off, see if they look as bad as the other side. Sometimes these are the worst. You just gotta get your hands dirty. So just pull towards you, top and bottom, and it'll slide right off. Well, it's not as bad as the other side. Definitely needs to be done though. All right, so next these little guide shims right here. So I'm gonna install those too. So basically, you just, with a little bit of force, push down and they'll pop out. That's the top one. Make sure when you put these in that, see how they're offset? Make sure you put them in the right direction. So you want this, the small piece right here, See how this is bigger and this is smaller? I'll make sure this small piece is facing the outside of the truck. So this would be the bottom and this would be the top because this is smaller. You want both small sides on the outside. It's a little offset. And then we'll just pop that puppy in. Bottom one. Pull up. And pop it in. Now, I know I'm gonna get a ton of grief from you guys for not cleaning these up. I've been filming this and it takes forever when you film something. Anyways, that's besides the point. I'm gonna go back in later and I'm going to paint the calipers. And so I'm gonna clean it all up when I do that. But right now I literally have an hour to finish this. So before you start hating me down in the comments, I just want to let you know that. I mean, you can still hate on me if you want. I got tough skin, I'm hard. You literally can't even get it wrong though. I mean, because it only goes in one direction. If you try to put it on the wrong side, I don't even think you'd be able to get that in there. Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of foolproof. Let's pop that in there. Require a little bit of pressure. Just gotta work it in there. Now you can see how much pad there is. So now, this clearly is not gonna fit because the caliper piston has been extended. So what we need to do is get our C-clamp and push this in slowly. This thing is crazy old. This was my grandfather's. And I've been using this to do brakes a long time. Works like a charm. So we'll position this right behind it and then we will screw this in until it's fully compressed. Now we grab our guide pins, the one we took out from the back, and we are going to lube them up, baby. So these guide pins have a torque rating of 22 foot-pounds. So you just don't take my word for it, but 22 foot-pounds. And I don't know why, but I feel like this is an overkill for something like that. So if you have a little bit of practice, you can kind of feel about what 22 foot-pounds of torque is. So I'm just gonna do it by feel. Back to our 10 millimeter. Now that we got them lubed up, put the first one in, and then you're gonna have to push in on this a little bit because there's a little bit of spring action going on now until you get it to feed in. And same thing with the bottom. Can't see, so I gotta feel. There we go. Tighten that till it's all the way in. That way I can match it up top. And then I will torque it down 22 foot-pounds. When you're looking at your disc brake, if you feel it here and it's smooth like mine, then you don't really need to get it lathed. But if you feel bumps in here, you should probably pull this off. I used to take mine to Napa Auto Parts because they had a lathe machine. You know, you can call around, see what kind of auto parts store has one. It's way cheaper. Let's put this wheel back on. Just line up the bolts. Slide her in place. Let me grab the lugs. All right, right now, I'm just gonna get them on tight. I'm not gonna torque it with this, I'm just gonna get it on tight. I'm gonna use the torque wrench to torque it. For me, it's 130 foot-pounds. Turn this to 130. Do you hear it click? Do you hear it click? Just to reiterate, the click means you stop. Little tip, if you have one of these, make sure you store it at the lowest absolute possible setting so you don't mess it up. Drop it the rest of the way down. Don't worry about that, it will go all the way to the floor. Just keep pressing it, it'll get harder and harder and harder, and then take it for a spin. I forgot to take the chocks off. Big Daddy. Nice. I'll show you a quick difference of thickness here. This is before. That's how much is left on that pad. Wait, this is after. Yeah. Well, no, I guess it depends how you look at it.
Yeah.
This is before I change the brakes, and this is after I change the brakes.
Yeah.
Or this is before you start using the brakes, or this is after you start using the brakes. So I guess it could be either or, depending on how you look at it. I don't know, glass full, glass half empty. It's up to you guys, you let me know.